Hi all. Now we are going to discuss on the module 5. In this module, we'll be discussing mainly on the lighting system and its design aspects. So before going into the theoretical part, we need to understand the basic concepts and basic terminologies which is being used in the case of a lighting design. So first we are going to define about luminous flux. Luminous flux is nothing but the light energy which is radiated from the lamp. So the amount of luminous flux depends upon the type of the lamp and also on the wattage of that particular lamp. The unit of luminous flux is lumens. So this is nothing but a lamp. I am just going to vary this slider and you can see that the light output is changing. And at the bottom part now you can see that it is 420 lumens. That just indicating that this is the amount of light energy which is radiated from the lamp. So you can see that it is being radiated to all the output part of that particular lamp, so that some are getting reflected onto the floor, some are getting reflected onto the wall. So the lumens is basically depending upon the amount of wattage and also on the type of the lamp. So if I increasing the slider, you can see that the light output is increasing. So that is nothing but the luminous flux and its unit is lumens. Next important factor is illuminance. Illuminance is nothing but the amount of light energy which is being received per unit square meter. So you can say that it is nothing but luminous flux divided by area. So you can say that this is particular room and you are having the two lamps on the topmost surfaces, and the illuminance over here you can see that it is 1600 lux. So it is lux is the unit, that is lumen per meter square is known as lux. So in the case of illuminance, when it is nearer to the source, the illuminance will be higher, and when moving away, your illuminance starts decreasing. Now this is our work plane, that is the table. You can see that the luminance is 500 lux, and when I am again moving down to the bottom part, it is 350 lux. So this you can just observe it. You just switch on the lamp and just keep a white paper and just keep it near to the lamp, and after that you just keep it at the floor. You can see that the amount of light which is received on that particular area or the white paper is going to be different. So it depends upon the area. So illuminance is inversely proportional to the distance square. And so these are the two important things: luminous flux and the illuminance. Next one is the color rendering index. That is nothing but how effectively the color of an object can easily be reproduced under the light source. So certain kind of light sources, it is very difficult to find out the actual color of the object which is kept under that particular lamp. While driving during the night time, you won't be able to find out the color of the car which is coming opposite to you. But during the daytime, it is very easy to identify whether it is a red, black or green. It is very easy to identify. But during the night time, it may not be possible, because during the night time, it depends upon the type of the light source which we are having. Sometimes you'll be having the sodium vapor lamp which is producing yellow light. Sometimes you'll be having the LED lamp, you'll be producing the white light. So the color rendering index will be varying. So we can just observe that these are some pictures. So I have three pictures are there. The first picture, the color is exactly reproduced, but when it comes to the last picture, the color is poorly reproduced. And you can also observe it while going for the shopping and all. The shop will be highly illuminated, and that is just to say that it is going to produce the same color of the object under that particular light source. So it will be varying on a scale of 0 to 100. And sunlight is having a color rendering index of 100, and a sodium vapor lamp, it is having the least color rendering index, which is not able to produce the correct color of the object. So this is just indicating the color rendering indexes of each kind of source. So a low pressure sodium vapor lamp, it is having a 0, and the normal fluorescent lamp, it will be having a rating between 60 to 95. Incandescent lamp is the one which is matched in accordance with the sunlight and having a color rendering index of 100. So it all depends upon which color is produced in that light spectrum. There is a VIBGYOR. If all the colors are there in that particular light spectrum, then it is able to produce all the color of that particular object under that. In the case of a sodium vapor lamp, it is producing the light in the yellow region. So therefore, yellow can easily be reproduced, but other colors are not easily reproduced. Next is luminous efficacy. It is nothing but from its unit is lumens per watt. You can say that it is how much amount of luminous output it can produce from 1 watt of power which is given to that particular source. So if the luminous efficacy is higher, that means the lamp is more efficient. If the luminous efficacy is less, then the lamp is inefficient. So this is again just a table which is showing GL is nothing but the general lighting service, that is the incandescent lamp. Its luminous efficacy is only 14 to 16 watt. But a fluorescent lamp, fluorescent tubular lamp, it is having a luminous efficacy of 70 to 104. LED lamp, it is also having a luminous efficacy of 90 to 100. Sodium vapor lamp, it is having a luminous efficacy of 90 to 140. So it all depends upon the type of the lamp, and we already seen that there was a lot of things regarding replacement of the incandescent lamps at your house using a compact fluorescent lamp. We'll just do a calculation based on that. So you can see that a 100 watt incandescent lamp will be producing 1380 lumen. A 60 watt will be producing 720 lumen output. A 40 watt will be producing 425 lumen output. So you can just compare this 1320, 380 divided by 100. It is nearly 14 watt, 14 lumens per watt. But in the case of a compact fluorescent lamp, a 1300 lumen output is produced from a 20 watt. So 1300 divided by 20. So you can see that the difference in the lumen output. So 130. So it is approximately 70 lumens per watt is the luminous efficacy of a compact fluorescent lamp. But in the case of a incandescent lamp, it is only 14. So you can see that it is normally 4 times more efficient than a incandescent lamp. So that is with respect to the luminous efficacy. Next one is the bellast. Bellast is the one which is used for starting a particular lamp. So we know that in the case of the fluorescent lamps, in the case of a metal halide lamp, it needs its own bellast in order to start its operation, in order to have the ionization. So that is nothing but a bellast. So earlier we were using copper ballast, and now everything is being replaced by the electronic ballast. Next one is the correlated color temperature. So we'll just observe two pictures. This is one picture and this is another picture, and this one we say it as a warm white and this one we say it as a cool white. In the case of this kind of color fixtures is seen in the case of shopping malls and all. For aesthetic purposes, we'll be using a warm white, and a cool white is being used normally in the reading rooms and all. So it is nothing but the CCT, that is the correlated color temperature. The CCT is defined in such a way that it is the light source is the absolute temperature of a black body whose chromaticity most nearly resembles that of a light source. So in the case of a normal fluorescent lamps and all, it will be producing around 5000 to 6000 K will be the normal correlated color temperature. And when it comes to a warm white and all, it will be 3000 or 3500 CCT, like that. So this is the two lamps which we normally see. This kind of lamps you might have seen. So this is nothing but the cool white, and this is the warm white. Next is the luminaire. Luminaire is nothing but a complete lighting unit consisting of a lamp or lamps together with the parts designed to distribute the light, to position and protect the lamp, and to connect the lamps to the power supply. So whatever you see for fixing a particular lamp and the systems which is designed to distribute the light in the different directions. It may be an upward lighting, it will be a downward lighting, it may be a concealed lighting. So it will be distributing the light in the manner which we require. and we need to position the particular lamp, and it also has the housing to protect the lamp. So basic example what you can see is that whatever you see on the roadside, the street light, the whatever that entire fixture is nothing but a luminaire. So it is very easy to explain. It has the system in order to position the lamp. It has a housing in order to protect the lamp. It also has a system to distribute the light. It has a reflective system, and in order to protect the lamp, it has a casing is there, and it also has a provision to connect the lamp to the power supply. Now, moving on to the lighting design. The lighting design will be looking at two main factors. One is the quantity of lighting, and another one is the quality of lighting. So the quantity is again related to the term luminous flux and illuminance. So if I am able to choose a lamp which is having a higher luminous output, that is say 6000 lumens, 12,000 lumens, 7,000 lumens, we say it as the quantity. So it all depends upon the type of the lamp, and it also depends upon the your wattage of that particular lamp. So a normal CFL lamp or an LED lamp, you can just observe a 5 watt LED lamp, a 10 watt LED lamp, a 20 watt LED lamp. 20 watt will be having the highest luminous output. A 5 watt LED lamp will be having the least luminous output. So the quantity is depending upon the type of the lamp and also on the wattage. Quality is related to two things. One is the color rendering index. It all depends upon where I need to put that particular lamp fixture, whether it is to be used in a painting booth, where you need to understand what is the actual color of that particular paint which is being made. Therefore the quality is more important. But just imagine that you are in a godown. There the quality is not at all important. You only need some amount of lighting which is required for easy movement inside that. And another factor is the color temperature. There is a correlated color temperature. So depending upon the type of application, whether it is used for an aesthetic purpose, whether it is used for a reading purpose, so whether you need to choose a cool white or you need to choose a warm white, so it all depends upon the quality. So for the lighting design, the main factors are quantity of the lighting, and the second one is the quality of your lighting. And in our system, we'll be discussing on a lighting design based on the average lumen method. Average lumen method, which we'll be discussing in the next lecture. Thank you.